Want to get started on your weight loss journey? We all do. Well, we know weight loss can be difficult, but medical advancements have created an absolute game changer. Yes, semaglutide is a once a week shot that can lower your A1C, curb your appetite, craving, slow digestion, and can help you feel full sooner and longer. How do you sign up? Go to DrT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Go ahead and click semaglutide, get signed up for your weight loss goals. On this week's episode, Barkley has a lot to say about his bosses over at TNT. Draymond is alluding to money issues in the NBA. Joy Porter Jr. said, "What?" And of course, Russell Wilson has to chime in about Justin Fields. All this and more coming up on A Win is a Win. Let's go. It's time for the rookie rundown. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Well, it's time for another jam-packed episode. But before we get into that, I know y'all like my singing. I know it. I feel it in my spirit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And don't forget to tell someone to tell somebody else to join A Win is a Win. And hey, thank you guys for listening, liking, and subscribing. It means a lot. It only means that we can grow. And as I promise you, as always, it didn't even cost you a thing. And listen, while you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell on your listening device so you know when a new episode drops. Let's talk about a couple rookies here. Now, Merrill Jackson, the outfielder from the Padres, who's been turning heads a lot this season, is making a lot of noise. Now, check this out. Merrill has never played center field professionally until this year, yet he's showcasing plus defense like a seasoned pro. Now, if you combine all of that with his batting stats, slashing an impressive .356, .433, and a .441, and he's doing all of this in one of the toughest pitcher parks in the league. But here's the kicker. Merrill is the major's third youngest player. Listen, y'all, he's not even 21 yet, okay? The kid is a phenomenon and truly, truly someone to keep your eye on and watch. He's phenomenal, y'all. Take a look at him. Now, let's talk about Colton Cowser. Now, the Orioles outfielder who has been on fire lately has been making more and more plays and making more and more noise. In the past week alone, he smashed 4 homers, racking up 6 hits and 10 RBIs during the series in Boston. His current slash line is an eye-popping .395, .429, and .868 with a .539 and the highest in baseball for players with at least 40 plate appearances. And it's not just his bat. Cowser's defense has been stellar with 2 outs above average across all 3 outfield positions. This guy is making some serious, serious noise. Now, speaking of rookies, all things that start well don't necessarily end well. Well, what exactly is it? Do you mean, Tiffany? Well, I mean this. We all watched the WNBA draft. And we saw a lot of, young ladies get drafted. Well, the third leading scorer, Deasia Fair, was drafted by the Las Vegas Aces, and she was unfortunately waived this past week. Now, here's my take on this. The Aces are a bit deep at the guard position, and I don't think that they could find a way to, scheme her into the sets effectively. And I mean, she absolutely and obviously has talent to make it in the W, but the adjustment period may be simply taking a bit longer. Now, I don't see a team passing on her who's lacking in the guard depth. And, I think she will add some type of nuance to an offense who actually needs it. But I think the pre stacked Las Vegas guard rotation is the main reason why she was waived off. And she didn't have anything bad to say. She thanked the Aces for, drafting her and giving her the opportunity. But let's hope she lands, somewhere where she's actually going to fit and for that to make sense. So good luck to this week's rookies. Keep going. Lots of career in you guys to play. And let's jump into some sports news next. It's that time. Yep, it's time for some sports news. Russell Wilson has, I don't know if you want to call it advice or his take on Justin Fields. Now, he thinks Justin Fields could be dangerous in a non QB role. Now, he was quoted saying, Justin is obviously one of the most talented guys in the NFL. You know, all the things he can do, the player, the quarterback that he is, he's dynamic. It's all about us winning. That's the focus. I think it would strike fear in some of the defense, and that's for sure, to see who he can truly be and who he is. And some people may say, okay, who even asked the question? Because sometimes Russ can just say things, but all in all, it's gonna boil down to, in my opinion, you guys jump in the chat, let me know what you think. Um, it's whatever's best for the team. You have to believe in your QB1 and your QB2 as the backup, and pitting them against each other is not going to, fare well. So there's an adjustment period. We don't know how long Russ is going to last. We don't know if he's going to play another year, 2 years. But I definitely think that Fields will be their franchise quarterback. So all in all, I think it's a fair take. Fields is good, but raw. And Chicago has not developed, think about it, a QB for their entire franchise history. And if you know about those Bears, you know what I'm saying is true. They've depended heavily on defense to win their games. Wilson is, not a long term answer. We know that for the Pistons. And I think Fields could very much be that long term answer with some development behind Russ. So, a lot of times I think that, what people want to hear versus what actually is happening can cause a little bit of friction. And be clear, usually it's the fans making the noise and the players respond to it because sometimes they feel they have to. All in all, we will see exactly what takes place when the season gets started. Listen, y'all, Charles Barkley went off about his bosses at TNT and how they are not handling, this whole debacle of inside the NBA. The NBA rights were sold to CBS, NBC. We don't know. Charles's production company may purchase the rights to, and he may produce the show himself. who knows? But let's take a listen to what Chuck had to say regarding all of the drama.
But I think they've done a really shitty job of keeping us abreast. Just say, hey, guys, we're in the middle of negotiations. It's 50-50. Just say something. I mean, we have not discussed it. And not even just for me, the people who work there. Because the people who work there, they're the ones on pins and needles.
So you have no relationship at all with David Zaslav, I guess?
None. I met him twice. I met him twice. I saw him last week at the upfronts. He said hello, and that was it.
So in that spot, you don't want to say to him what's going on with the NBA?
Well, I thought he should have said something to us when he had us there, to be honest with you, but he didn't. And I'm like, there was crowds around, so I didn't want to make a scene, but I thought he should have said something.
Well, and Charles has not been shy about how he feels regarding what's going on over at TNT. So you guys jump in the chat. Let me know what you think. Do you think that TNT is handling this with grace? Do you think they are handling this in a manner on a hush hush? We don't want to put any, false narratives out there. We don't want to put a story out there or develop anything that could be considered true when in fact maybe they don't know, they don't have an answer, they don't know what's going on. So jump in the chat, let me know exactly what you think should happen with TNT. Where do you want to see inside the NBA? Because let's just face it, you have Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck all have a rapport. And a lot of people actually tune in to the game because they like the pre and post show. And some people are saying that's the meat and potatoes of the NBA on TNT are those guys right there and their expertise. So jump in the chat. Let me know exactly what you think should happen with that. Tom Brady has some feelings about a three-peat when it comes to the Chiefs and um, the margin of which he thinks there's a slim reality that may happen. And this is what he said: the margin of error is razor thin. To win one Super Bowl is extremely difficult. To win two back to back is nearly impossible. To win three in a row, there's a reason why no one's done it. To put three of those together in back to back to back seasons with drafting last, a very hard schedule, and all the turnover in free agency, guys continuing to be motivated, it's a big challenge. So here's my question to you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Will the Chiefs be the first team to three-peat? What do you actually think the Chiefs will do during this season? Anything's possible. It's not everything's up in the air until it's done. Everything's questionable until there's tried and true answers to debunk that. And if we're going off facts and NFL history, yes, there's a reason why it hasn't been done, but doesn't mean that it can't be. So, jump in the chat, guys. Let me know exactly what it is. What kind of path do you think the Chiefs have this year? Because they do have quite a tough schedule. Draymond Green, the NBA's best friend, says the NBA fines don't set up players, excuse me, for financial success. Here's what he said. When you talk about as hard as we work to accumulate wealth, coming from situations that most people never make it out, and then you get fined the way we get fined. It's actually not set up for us to be wealthy after we're done playing. This job is not set up the way we're taxed, the way we're fined. And, you know, a lot, all right, Draymond, here's what I think. You have to take accountability for the things that you do, and there is no way that you've entered the NBA not being aware of said fines. That being said, in the clip, he mentioned that listen to me, getting a $5,000 fine is one of those reasons. Okay, so let's break this down. $5,000 to someone who makes 40 million per year is like 0.0000125% of one's annual salary, which is $12.50 to someone who makes 100,000. The logic makes no sense. But you got to respect Draymond for his take. His take is his. He may see it differently than other people, and that may be, his deep down feeling when he is choking someone or kicking somebody or stepping on someone, and he feels that the NBA is getting a little too deep in the pockets. Well, Draymond, if this is your hot take, cool. I just don't think that this is the one right here, in my opinion. This just ain't it. It's just not. I don't feel that there's any accountability in the statement that was made. However, financial um, health, financial awareness, financial education, I think should be something that every player goes through, especially when you're coming from those said situations where you don't have your hands in that type of money. You don't see that type of money. Financial education, in my opinion, if I had my own league, I would make that be a part of the onboarding process. But hey, I'm on record for saying that quite a few times. Um, and I do think that somehow, some way, um, maybe that may be beneficial to players in the long run. But we shall see. Sometimes Draymond, he says things, and then he he stands on it, and then he kind of backs off. But nonetheless, it's how he feels, and so we'll see exactly what happens with the fines. Will they go away or will they stay? We just will never know. Um, Joey Porter Jr. says he's the best cornerback in the league after 1 year in. Let's let that let's let that marinate for a minute. Now, I think he might have been the best in his draft class, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time. He's not there yet, but again, that's his opinion. He feels that way. So let's do this. Facts or cap? Do you think that Joey Porter Jr. is the best cornerback in the league right now after 1 year in? Jump in the chat. Let me know what you think, and we'll be right back. Are you searching for some new NFL gear? Well, go to drT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Click the NFL shop link there. Enter your code NFL30 to get 30% off of your purchase. Let's get back to the show. Undisputed lightweight gold medal is on the line. Yep. We have Islam and Poirier are going to go 5 rounds this Saturday at 10 p.m. Now, I see it like this: Islam is gonna die for the legs probably in less than 2 seconds after the bell rings, and fold up um, Poyer in 2 seconds. But you know, it's interesting because these two have been bickering back and forth, back and forth. And then, you meet up on weigh-in day, and Dana White is just standing there like, okay, please, please, y'all, not right here, not right now. Leave it for the octagon. But we'll see. I think, sometimes Poyer can, piss off or try to get under Islam's skin. But look, making Islam pissed is the last thing you want to do if you only have a 1% chance of winning. So, who do y'all have for this fight? Do you have Islam or do you have Poyer? Jump in the chat. Let me know. Um, the Bills have an interesting new player. Gable Stevens, an Olympic gold medalist and one of the most dominant college wrestlers in the NC2A history, is jumping into the NFL to sign with the Bills. Yep, his agent told Adam Schefter that he will be on the D line. Now, he stands 6'1", 271 pounds. So I believe that his wrestling techniques and his tackling new job assignment should come easily. I do think there will be some adjustments, but coming from a wrestler's background, I don't think he may have any trouble fitting in. And, you know, watching him, he kind of, well, not kind of, he was just flat out rejected in the WWE for no reason. So it's kind of cool that he found a new path. Now, whether or not this works for the Bills, unsure of that, but clearly it seems to be uh, a path worth going down. Let's talk about something that is consistently being brought up since these finals playoffs has started. And the question that keeps coming around and circulating is, will Luka hold the title of best player in the league if the Mavs win the title? And I want to be very fair when I say this. You you have to consider people wrote off the Wolves prior to this NBA finals, and they didn't think that they had it. you know Luka was too ball dominant, only passing to Kyrie, and a lot of different um avenues and a lot of different takes were being thrown out there to say the Mavs were done. Well, okay, so here we are. We're in the finals. And this story keeps coming up. And this is what I believe. Forden as point, I think he definitely deserves attention. But the greatest of all time, not yet. We're we need to see this. And I think sometimes we get excited. We make the mistake of going all in to the greatest of all time, or they're Jordan-esque. Look at the conversations around Anthony Edwards. And by no means, I mean, he's not the first to be compared to Jordan. When LeBron came in, okay. When Kobe came in, okay. And we've heard these things, but the media spins the narratives, not the players. And In some sense, that's fair because there is a fan behind every take. There's a fan behind every analyst behind the desk. There is just, and I'm not saying a fan of Luca or the Mavs, I'm saying a fan of the sport. But sometimes those takes, those hot takes that everyone wants to, have, it seems sometimes that is unrealistic to what actually is going on at the time, and it's okay. But to pose that, will he hold the title of the best player in the league? Not yet. It's too soon, it's too early, and it's just too early. This is the first time he's here. Okay, let's just get that out the way first. Let these guys get out there and ball. Whichever way it turns out, it turns out. But let's just start right there. Let him get one if it's meant for him to get one. And then after that, let's see if he can get two. And if he can get three, come on now. Let's be fair in these takes. Greatest, best player in the league? No, I don't see that. Jump in the chat, y'all. Let me know exactly what you think. Um, as far as, is he going to be the best player? That said, the Mavs destroyed the Wolves at home, 124 to 103. So let me know, who do you have as the best duo in the finals? This will be our poll question for this week. And here's your options: Tatum and Brown, or Kyrie and Luca. Jump in the chat. Let me know exactly who you have as the best duo. Wanted to say that I grew up with my dad uh, watching basketball and then playing basketball. And my dad would often reference a player coined by the name of Big Red. The Hall of Famer and two-time NBA champion Bill Walton passed away the other day at the age of 71 following a prolonged battle with cancer. And if you know what he contributed to the game, if you just saw him playing with Kareem, and here's something cool that ESPN did, Sports Illustrated, I'm sorry. For every single Sports Illustrated cover that he took, that was their tribute. So go to sportsillustrated.com. I hope you will enjoy that. But rest in peace to Big Red Bill Walton. And then we're going to come back next and get into the injury report really quick, see who's going to be playing in these finals. So we'll be right back. Who's hurt and who is ready to go? Well, it's time for our injury report. Missoula says that Porzingis is getting better. He's out on the court and he's shooting. He went through a couple of drills in practice, so he's been progressing well and confident of where he's at right now. Now, Boston obviously will host the Mavs in game one of the finals on the 6th, next Thursday. And, he's kind of standoffish when he was asked if he was confident that Porzingis would be on the court for the opener. And he was, kind of standoffish and coy. And all he said was, I'm confident where he's at on whatever day today is. So we'll see if Porzingis actually gets on the floor. Lively return for game 5 against the Wolves. You know how that turns out. So it looks like he will be green lit and cleared for the finals as well. And Camila Cardoso is expected to make her debut Saturday, y'all, after her shoulder injury. And she has been upgraded finally to available. So exciting for her to actually get some minutes in during the regular season. Um, and I feel like it is time for her to shine in the W. I think she's going to have a long career here, especially being the first young lady, um, from her hometown in Brazil to make it not only to the United States to college, but also to make it to the pros is huge for her. So excited to see her get out there and play with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. So when we come back, we are going to look at some early finals bets for next week. So grab your pen, grab your paper, jot these down, and we'll be right back. Open up those sports books. It's time for Bet Masters. Let's talk about some early bets for the NBA Finals coming up next week. And this is what I would play as of now. I would do 3 two-man slips, and here's my pick. So my first slip would be Dallas to cover the 6.5 spread and the over at 213.5. Now keep in mind these numbers are subject to fluctuate the closer we get to game day. My second slip would be the first half Mavs +4 and the over at 110.5. And then my third slip would be my props, and that would be Kyrie over 24.5 points and Holiday at over 5.5 rebounds. So take those, play those if you like. Remember, do your homework early and bet with a strategy. Don't bet with emotion. Lose more money that way. And also keep in mind that sometimes the lines change. So it's an everyday thing. You can put your bet in today, but just know that that line will change the closer we get to game day, because obviously the books and the high rollers in Vegas are putting heavy money down on different aspects of the game. So those would be my picks. And if you have some picks that you would like to share with us, jump down in the chat and let us know. Always looking for some good picks, okay? Also, for the NBA Finals, I'm staying away from the money line. I just, if you think that the Mavs are going to win, do it. If you think that Boston is going to win, by all means, do it. But I'm trying to stick with more statistical bets right now and stay away from the money line. And then, too, sometimes the money line, depending upon what it is, it's not really paying a lot. So, all in all, just do your homework, use your apps. I am a fan of Sleeper, Chalkboard, Pickwise, and Prize Picks for your player props. But by all means, use whatever analytic tool that you have to get your bets in. And we're going to come back with our final segment, because Gone Now is crazy. So we'll be right back. All right, this week I have to give a Gone Now to Corey Harris. Now, this man has a suspended driver's license and attended court via Zoom. Y'all have to listen to this.
Mr. Harris,
are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now. Hey. You stationary? I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
So y'all have to go and see the actual video. The audio is just as hilarious as the video. But I mean, Corey, now why would you show up via Zoom driving for a hearing for your license that's suspended? And you thought by telling this judge that, oh, I'm just pulling into my doctor's office right now. Give me a second. I'm almost there. Okay, I am parked. What if Johnny had 5 apples? Because that's about how I feel about this. Now, he told you that you need to have your tail at that court by 6 p.m. and turn yourself in. I would not be going to the doctor's office. I would be calling uh your mama, your daddy, your kids, your wife if you got one, your girlfriend, somebody, and tell them, look, I gotta go turn myself in. I got the bail money is in my mattress in between the Sealy and the Posturepedic. Corey here is gone now. You knew what you was doing. Gone. You need to go to jail. Go sit down, have you a couple sandwiches, think about what you did. Go on now, okay? That's going to end it for this week's episode of A Win is a Win. Thank y'all so much for hanging with me and listening and subscribing and liking and sharing. Continue to do that so we can grow. And don't forget to tell someone to tell somebody else to join A Win is a Win. You can catch us on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And I'll catch you next week.